Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alicia here with Fitful Circle, and it's been a little while since I've gotten on here, and my apologies. It's been a little crazy with my mom. I haven't updated or posted about her in a bit, but it was March 19th where she fell unconscious, and we rushed her to the ER, and they found a brain tumor. And that they removed it the next day, come to find out it's cancerous and all this stuff. So it's just been crazy. She also had double strokes and just nutso. So I've been having to help a lot with that, with my dad and my mom. And but anyway, so that's why I've been I haven't gotten on here live and shared anything. My life's been a little busy, but I wanted to talk about, if you know me or if you've been following my story, I'm a 42-year-old mom of 5, had 5 babies in 7 years. 10 years, around that time, I was physically inactive. Our second son was born with a genetic defect and he passed away at 1 year and 3.5 months. In and out of the hospital, crazy times. That was over 13 years ago. And it's funny, he'll be 14, or he would be 14 on April 27th coming up. So April is always a big month for us. And just kind of hard because it's always coming up to a birth date or a heavenly date. It is, you just, emotions and stuff, grief comes up, and especially with my mom going through this stuff, we've had a lot of grief, not only me, but my oldest, who's 15. They were 15 months apart. Some grief has been coming up with him, and he's had a few breakdowns with all. It's just really hard because we're on the same property as my parents. So anyway, but one thing, after my son passed away, my husband and I, we were lost in grief for a long time. Grief, financial strain, because through the grief, my husband wasn't managing his business right. And, we're lucky that we are not lucky because we put in the work. Grateful that we're both still together and we love each other more today. But that did not come easy at all. So I wanted to get on here and kind of share with you something that I did to help get myself out of the pit. I was in a depression. I lost myself for a while. I really, seriously was a mess. My health and well-being was on, why is that? It looked like it was fading, my light was going down. I hope it's not getting too hot because it's in the, it's in the heat right here. So let me just plug it in and make sure, because the sun is shining right there in my windshield. I'm like, uh-oh, I hope my phone is not overheating and it's gonna cut off on me. Anyway, so my life was a mess. I was a mess. My husband and I together were a mess. Everything in my life was a mess. So what I did, you know what? I quit. I started becoming, my parents had taught me not to be a quitter, but I started becoming a quitter. But what did I quit is very important. I quit negativity. I quit striving for perfection. I quit fear, because fear held me back, from anything and everything. That was my BFF growing up. Fear ruled my world, and it was fear of what people would think, fear of speaking in front of people. That was a big fear of mine. And that held me back from taking and pursuing things that I should have pursued. Fear of what people thought, because I was following a path that everyone else told me I should follow. I'm afraid my phone is going to overheat or something. Anyway, but I took a path, I was taking paths that weren't really in my heart. I was just going with what everyone else told me I should do. And what society, the path that society tells you, okay, these are the steps to be successful, right? So I quit all that. I quit going by what everyone else dictated and said. I quit. Self-hate was a big thing. I quit self-hate and started practicing self-love, which is one thing that society tells us, like, self-love is so selfish, right? I call BS, because if you can't pour from an empty tank, and the more you dole it all out to everyone else and none for yourself, and you have nothing left. And then when you don't take care of you, you're telling everyone else that you're not important either, you know? And I did that for the longest time. And so it was like, okay, so my kids and my husband, like, I was telling them, I'm not important, you all are first, so it's okay to treat me like, you know, poop, right? It's okay to put mom on the back burner, right? But that's not it at all, right? You deserve just as much respect and honor and love as everyone else. And it's so hard for us as moms, because we are the caretakers and we want to take care of everyone else and we forget about ourselves. But no one else is going to take care of you. No one. Like, you have to make sure you are taken care of. So I quit self-hate and I started practicing self-love. I quit negativity. I think I already mentioned that, but I quit negativity, negative friends. I quit negative people. I quit negative, like, anything negative, like, going in my brain, like, as far as TV shows, entertainment, environments, like, anything negative. I'm like, even my parents, for a certain time, I had to quit them and I had to distance myself until I was stronger, until they could learn those boundaries that, hey, just because my life doesn't look like you think it should, I'm not fitting in that box and that mold that you thought I would fit in, doesn't mean that you can, you know, say stuff about it. Doesn't mean that you can't respect and honor, you know, my wishes with my children, my wishes with my life, you know. So I quit that. I quit perfection. What else did I quit? I wrote some stuff down. I quit anything that didn't serve me. I quit living as if it would never happen to me, as if I was invincible, like I would never die. You know, I started living day by day, like as if I want to leave a legacy, and I'm living today out the fullest, the best that I can do, so that tomorrow, if for some reason God takes me from this earth, that I will have left the legacy. It'll live on past me. I quit trying to change others. That's a big one. I quit trying to change others, especially like my husband with our marriage. The more you nag and try to change and like, at this other person, the more they resist, the more they rebel, the more they get defensive, and they are not going to make any changes at all. So what I did, I just said, you know what? He is the way he is. I'm not, you know, I can't, my happiness is not determined by him, not determined by my kids or anybody else. My happiness is determined by me. So I quit relying on others. I quit trying to change them, you know, and I started changing me and realizing that I had a lot to work on. Even though I was the better partner, the better spouse, the better, you know, I had a lot of stuff to work on. I had a lot of self-righteousness, easy to criticize and condemn, when, you know, I needed to be pointing the finger at myself and like raising myself up and loving myself, because that self-hate that I was practicing before that I quit, it was coming out to others. So anyway, I quit drinking recently. Just this year. That was another thing. Like, it was like a step in the progression. Anything that doesn't serve me, and drinking was not serving me. That was totally a personal decision. It's totally fine, but I quit unhealthy foods, you know, I quit anything that didn't serve me and my purpose here on earth, my purpose with my God, and seeking him and being the best version of myself, inside and out, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So any mold, any box, any fitting in, like, I quit all that. And I'm free to be me. I'm free to live my life by design. I don't care what people think, because I'm not living for others. I'm living for my God. I'm living for me. And, you know, I want to help others, of course. That's what a big part of my mission, but I want to help those that want to be helped. You know, I'm not fearing what others think, you know, I should or shouldn't be doing, or, you know, that I shouldn't be sharing all this stuff, you know, or my life or whatever. You know what? It's not for them, and it's not about them, you know? So anyway, I just wanted to share, and letting all that go, all that stuff, when you let all that stuff go, you know what? There is no anxiety and depression, because you're living free to be yourself, and you're living the life that you were designed to live. You know, I believe we all have a design and we all have a purpose. And if we're not living that, then it causes depression and anxiety, and you all these shame and unworthiness and all this other stuff start to manifest. So I encourage you to quit those things. Quit anything that doesn't serve you. Quit any negativity. Quit any fears that are not, you know, there's some healthy fear, like getting on here was kind of like, oh, you know, I'm going to share this stuff. But quit that kind of stuff, and live your life in a way that is good and that is pleasing and that makes you happy, because we all, like I said, we all have that design and that purpose. And there is freedom when you quit that crap. There is, and it is like the best feeling in the world, and there is happiness and contentment no matter what your circumstances, no matter, you know, excuse me, I've been drinking this kombucha, and it has natural fermented gases because it's fermented, so it kind of makes you burp, because I don't drink sodas or anything. But anyway, so even going through tough times, like I am so much stronger today because of what I went through with my son, so that I can deal with and help my mom and my dad in this situation that they're going through. But if I were the same person I was years ago, it would be a whole different story. But I'm not. Like, I took off that old person and I put on the new, and I'm living it every day. And I thank God, like, that I found him again, and I found, you know, happiness and contentment. And I quit all the junk, because it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve him. It doesn't serve you. And then you're not living the life that you were called to live. So anyway, I hope that gives you some hope, some peace, something to help you through your day, your week. And we'll talk to you later. I got to get going, because I teach a class in an hour, and I was going to sit at this little coffee shop where I sit every Thursday for like an hour and do a little work before my class. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Big hugs and love.